everyone, and welcome to the stream. My name is Hang On. Lee, let me just double check one thing. I didn't set up my stream manager before I started streaming, so, let's see, though. I think... Yeah, sure. Let's open this up and see. Hey, it is Afternoon Tea with Lee, and it is Tabletop RPGs, so I think we're good on that front. So that's pretty cool. Yes. Yeah. So first I have to do this, because I know it's going to be annoying if I don't. The second thing I need to do is go to... what do I do? I am... Yep, I'm going to do that. Okay, now, I'm going to open up a Word document, I guess. So, I don't know what I'm doing. This is a common theme with me. I kind of just go into the streams with nothing, and, okay, let me see. Our first thought, hi, welcome to the stream, my name is Lee. I guess my first thing is to tell everyone I'm live. Yes, so, my, basically, I stream about everything and anything that I happen to find interesting. And, okay, we have an ad in 5 minutes, so that should be fine. But yes, basically, I stream about anything and everything I happen to find, yes, okay, yeah, so yes, as a streamer, I do a little bit of everything. I'm just streaming nonsense. Schedule general. No, I need to go to here. All right, I do random tabletop RPGs. Let's see. Oh wow, I got all the cheers from Kit, which is very cool. Okay, so and someone, oh, Grizz gave me a shout out, right? Because I think we raided into Grizz. Okay, so let us begin. Welcome to the stream. Since we're guaranteed to do a TTRPG, I think what we could do is we should, um, I'm gonna bring up Cyberpunk Red. The reason I'm streaming Cyberpunk Red is because I'm going to run a Cyberpunk Red game. Let's see, it would be in the... Alright, give me a second. The kettle is whistling, and I should not... fudge. Right, this one. There you go. I basically bask in how cute Addie is for a minute. Would you all... Excellent. That needed to be done. I'm gonna fix... when we have our first ad break, what I'm going to do... Addie is my parents... Well, she's my dog too, or she was. And then I moved out, and I couldn't take her with me, so she stayed with my parents, and she's the goodest girl. And I missed her awfully much. But, so when I did my setup, I put her as my little please be patient picture. That was her when she was much younger. She's getting old now. She's getting gray around the muzzle, but she's still an awfully good girl. Okay, so, yes, Cyberpunk Red. So to do that, I would need to, go to... No, that's... Oh, actually, Kingston. Yeah, but I'd have to do, like, an 18-plus stream if we're gonna do that. It's not that I, desktop... So I just basically imported the user file from my old computer. I just transferred it over wholesale and stuck it on the desktop of the new computer. Um, So I have a lot of stuff in there that I probably shouldn't, I probably don't need, and I probably should go through and delete all of like the whatever files in there. But like most of it was my own. So, but yes. So go to downloads in that folder, and then we go to Red Cyberpunk. We have to find this. Um, it is a thing. Okay, but there's gonna be an ad break in in a minute. So, they give me a 1 minute warning. Okay, so we're doing Cyberpunk Red today. And if assuming I can find it, character. Hang on. I'm gonna open this up very briefly, if you would indulge me. I don't know what this. Yep. Okay. So what I need to do is move a few files, but that's consent for okay. Cryptid Chronicles. No. Yes, CPR. Core rulebook. Okay. Alright, this is Cyberpunk. Time of the Red. Okay, so, for those of you who don't know, Cyberpunk, Time of the Red. Alright, we're gonna have an ad break. Let me get my tea set up, and then I'll be back and explain about Cyberpunk. Okay, that's good stuff. Alright. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Let me... There we go. Key. I think what I usually do is move this down under... What? What do I say this? Okay, yeah. I could... Put a... Okay. Okay, then I can... We're doing some adjusting on the camera, but, hello, hello. Okay, so, this is Cyberpunk Red. Welcome back to the stream. Let's see. Yes, yeah, I guess no one's big on the Tuesday stream. Wednesday streams are my biggest stream, for those of you who are new. Um, okay, so, my... Alright, yes. Okay, so... Um, yep. Okay. That's the thing. funny story, when you have a publishing company like eSpec Books, which is really cool. They run all their campaigns through Kickstarters, and it's great. I get a lot of cool books from them, and I enjoy their work. But the Danielle Atkins MacPhail, I believe, is the uh, well, I know she's married to MacPhail. That's her married name, I guess. That's her husband's name that she appended to hers. I can never remember. Ugh, hang on. Let me see. It's definitely here. Um, no, she only signs with a first name. Okay, but she is the coolest, and her husband also runs the press. He does a lot more behind the scenes stuff. She's the gregarious face of everything. He's nice, but quiet type, and they run the eSpec Books, and I should do a pitch for them at some point because honestly, I don't know if I could like do a paid partnership or anything, but they're cool, and um, at some point I'm gonna do an unboxing video of the latest book I got from them. So I haven't actually opened it yet, so that could be fun. But today we're doing Cyberpunk Red. At Gamehole Con, which is coming in October, I'm going to run a Cyberpunk Red game. So what I've been doing is doing my prep on here. So I guess if you are going to be at Gamehole Con and you want to take my game, then beware of spoilers. Of course, even if you know how it's going to play out, you don't know how it's going to end until that. There's going to be a bunch of secrety stuff, but I'm going to do the character creation live on stream and get a feel for the book. We've been going through various parts of it, and so we've been doing staying out of trouble, when you stay in touch, how you stay in touch. So this is basically the time of the red. There's some lore stuff we've been going through, combat and how actions work in combat, which is important for DM to know. But I had a friend, and I was like, what should I run? It's like, I always kind of wanted to do a Cyberpunk one. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm running Cyberpunk. How to do stabilization and such. Then, all right, why don't we do a bit of a lore dump? Let's get some lore in here, and because I've been gathering information on how to do characters. I guess we could. So I guess this is normally when I would ask my viewers, such that I have them, what my plan was. Um. Um. Yeah. Um. So I guess this is when I would ask my viewers. Um. Few that I have, I just don't have a lot of viewers because, yeah, it's the middle of the afternoon. A lot of people who work night shift are sleeping. A lot of people who work day shift are at work, and everyone else is just kind of, like people like me who work kind of a middle shift are kind of like, this is the time of day to do stuff because, yeah. But what was I gonna say? In any case, welcome on in. Um, 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 um. Okay, so yeah, let's see. My point was, blah. I had a plan and a theory, and um, um, okay. So my plan was, okay. I had a plan. Yes, my plan was to, hi, welcome on in. Here's a question for you: should I do lore or character creation? Because I have to make a bunch of characters for the game I'm running for this. Ooh, we have more viewers. And I have, um, so that has to get done. and I have to, you know, I should familiar. It's more fun to do lore streams because you can just read lore and like comment on it and do a live commentary, and it's fun. But basically, what was I gonna say? Da, 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 da. Um, let's see. Do vehicle combat. Yeah, there's different vehicles. Okay. So yeah, we could do, I mean, going through bit by bit, but what I was thinking, would be put together a couple of characters. We do the middle option of like picking stats and just kind of running with it, and then we could fill in the background details later and kind of figure out a way to weave them all together. That might be so. Character creation, and we're gonna start with just for a brief moment. We can go back to lore too if we want. If character creation seems boring, what? So when you go through character creation, you get yeah. Um, yeah, you get. Let's see. You go through character creation, you get um, cyberware, um, trauma team. All right. Why don't I read this? Okay, running cyberpunk is the DM section. Um, so three methods of So okay, we're gonna start with this one, and then I'm gonna run down to the. So we went on here. Um. Um. Yes. Um. Personal thing, a hallmark these dark times. Wider aspect of that, you look in your friends, your team, your family, or clan first. You can do some good among way, great, but don't count on it. Our survivors in tough, grim world faced with life and death choices. How they make these choices a lot to do whether they end up as vicious animals roaming a ruined world or retain something of their basic humanity. Cyberpunk characters are heroes of a bad situation, working to make it better, or at least survivable, whenever they can. Whether it takes committing crimes, defying authority, or even outright revolution, the quintessential cyberpunk character is a rebel with a cause. As a player, it's up to you to find that cause and go to the walls with it. This essence of cyberpunk, playing your character with the proper, disaffected, cynical yet idealistic style. Whether you're a biker with a leather skin and metal claws, or debutante in satin, sporting the latest in designer cyber optics, you're going to need a certain panache, a certain flair in portraying yourself. To achieve the essence of the 2000s, you need to master three concepts: style over substance. It doesn't matter how well you do something as long as you look good doing it. If you're going to blow it, make sure you look like you planned it that way. Normally, clothes and looks don't matter in an adventure. In this world, having leather and armor jacket and micro shades is this very serious consideration. Attitude is everything. It's truth. Think dangerous, be dangerous. Think weak, be weak. Remember, everyone in the 2000s carries a lot of lethal hardware. Each character in this world is playing a role, a face that a person projects to the outside world as the real thing. They won't be impressed by your new Militech smart gun unless you swagger into the club looking like you know how to use it, and you are just itching for an excuse. Never walk into a room when you can stride in. Never look at someone unless you can make your best killer look. Do your best. I'm bad and you aren't. Smile. Don't sit on the around the flat or queue waiting for the next job. Get out and hit the clubs and hangouts. Make sure you're where the party starts. The edge is that nebulous zone where risk takers and high rollers go. On the edge, you'll risk your cash, your reputation, even your life on something as vague as a principle or a big score. As a cyberpunk, you want to be the action, start the rebellion, light the fire, join great causes, and fight for big issues. Never drive slow when you can drive fast. Throw yourself up against danger and take it head on. Never play it too safe. Stay committed to the edge. And then break the rules. That was Ripper Jack. Okay. Okay, so after war between megacorporations, followed by an atomic bombing, the world of cyberpunk is a combination of savage, sophisticated, modern, and retrograde. Fashion model beautiful. Rocker boys rub shoulders with battle armored road warriors, all of them making the scenes in the hottest dance clubs, sleaziest bars, and meanest streets this side of the post Holocaust. Every single one of them has a role and occupation they are known by on the street. I think. 10 roles in Cyberpunk Red. So, ideally, I guess I could do one of each. So, I was going to do one of each, and I said, oh, that's too much. But you know what? I think we can. Rocker Boys, solos, netrunners, techs, metatechs, medias, execs, lawmen, fixers, nomads. I think we can get one of each. And I think I know how to connect them. Basically, my theory was one of them who's a fixer is kind of basically they're a loose. My theory was they're a loose affiliation of childhood. I think they all got the same kind of vague scholarship promise from subsidiary corporation in Europe. After I was gonna say after the Corpo War, but given the timing, I think it might have been like a post Corpo. Well, yeah, it was probably a new like a corporate action that got kind of ugly, and in compensation, they were offered a scholarship. A bunch of them took it, came to Night City to be interns in the Osaka Corps. The program fell through. The programming, you know, the funds got cut to the programming, and they were kind of left adrift in Night City. And some of them left, some of them stayed. And 10 of them stayed, at least. And these 10 are kind of one of them's a fixer, and someone has to if so, no one plays the fixer when we run the game. Basically, I'll be the fixer. I'll play as an NPC I'll create an NPC. I'll take him as an NPC and then not go on the adventure. But basically, this is call up a they're all um vaguely boom. All right, yeah, Rocker Boy solos, netrunners. Okay, so Rocker Boy. My man tried to do music back before the war. The corpse snapped him up, sucked him dry, and spit him out to die on the street. These days it's different. I write my own lyrics, make my own arrangements, record it all myself, then upload it to the data pool. No corp needed. They're not chanting my name in giant concert halls yet, but I've got fans, and I don't have to compromise my message for anyone. Just like the original Rocker Boy, my music's giving the middle finger to every power-hungry suit who thinks they can control the world. It's Rocker Man named 40. If you live to rock, this is where you belong. As a rock boy, you're one of the street poets, the social conscience, and the rebel of the time of the red. With the advent of digital studios and garage music mastering, every rocker boy with a message can take it to the street, put it in the record store, bounce it off the comsats. Sometimes your message isn't something the corporations or the government want to hear. Sometimes what you say is going to get right in the face of the powerful people who really want to run this world. But you don't care because as a rocker boy, you know your place to challenge authority, whether in a straight-out protest songs that tell it like it is, playing kick-ass rock and roll to get the people away from the TV sets and into the streets, fighting the crowd with speeches, composing fiery writings that shape the minds and hearts of millions. You have a proud history as a rocker boy. Dylan, Springsteen, U2, NWA, and The Who, Jet, The Stones, the legions of hard rock heroes who told the truth with screaming guitars or gut-honest lyrics. You have the power to get your message, to get the people up, to lead, inspire, and inform. Your message can give them the timid courage, the weak strength, the blind vision. Rocker Boy legends like Johnny Silverhand, Rocker Boy Manson, for whom the role is named, and Kerry Eurodyne have led armies against corporations and governments. Rocker Boys have exposed corruption and brought down dictators. It's a lot of power for someone doing gigs every night in another city, but you can handle it. After all, you came to play. Okay, so the role ability, charismatic impact. With this ability, you can influence others by sheer presence of personality. They need not be a musical performer. They can influence others through poetry, art, dance, or simply their physical presence. They could be a rocker or a cult leader. As they grow in skill, they can affect larger and larger groups, calling their fans for greater and greater requests for loyalty. 144 for details. Okay. So we're going to start with Rocker Boy. I'm just going to go through in order, and I'm going to build these characters. And, we're going to look at a map of Europe, is what we're going to do. I'm going to bring up a map of Europe. Why, you might ask? Political map of Europe. This one should work. view file. All right. No, no. I want to be able to zoom in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hear this. This is how we're gonna do. You ready? Hi, Taver. Hi. Welcome, welcome. I know you. I don't know how you came through the grapevine to the stream, but welcome. Um, Taver, if he's the same one I'm thinking of, is a amazing soul musician, and actually, it's kind of fun that you're here while we're doing Rocker Boys. So hang on, did it pause? Oh, yes, it did. We're doing Cyberpunk Red, which is a TTRPG and it's set in the cyberpunk world. And I'm gonna run a game for it in October at a con. This con doesn't have any filking, unfortunately. Although I'm going to probably poke around behind the scenes and see if there's kind of an unofficial download filking, because I know a lot of cons before they had filk programming had. I'm sure there's definitely a huge overlap, so I bet there's some filkers going, and we could arrange like a after hours meetup nonsense. But yeah, I'm GMing a game for this con, and my friend said, "Hey, you know, you have a Cyberpunk Red book, and you were always kind of interested in it." I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "All right, why don't you run one of those?" So I said, "Okay." So I'm running one of these and one of this silly little Wizards game, which I ran successfully at multiple conventions before. I'm updating my dungeons, but basically it's just silly little, it's a wizarding test and you have to pass. So that one's a fun game, but this one's a little more hardcore, and Cyberpunk is really interesting. Basically, it's an alternate history where during the Cold War, the European space, like Europe, kind of banded together the EU in a sort of proto EU, and they got into space. They created these mass pile drivers, which basically could create a counterpoint to the fact that to nuclear weapons, so that the Cold War kind of petered out because there was a third power who could take them both down if things got ugly. And um, then there was the rise of corporations, and science and technology went a little faster than it did in our world, particularly cybernetics. And then there was a corporate war, and things got really ugly. And there was also a second civil war in the U.S., I believe, and which I mean, it's kind of mirroring our history. And various other nonsense. So they have this whole world, but it's like gritty, dark. New City is right around Southern California, I think, where San Francisco is now. That area, in Night City, and uh, we're playing a bunch. When you play Cyberpunk Red, you play as a bunch of, um, you know, uh, private contractors running around the city, getting into trouble and helping people, and getting in trouble with helping people. And so I am my goal, I think, when you run a game at a convention, what you usually try to do is you have to have pre-gens when you run a one shot at the convention, because um oh hey, yay, you're coming for BossCon. That would be really cool. I always go to BossCon every year because it's my hometown convention. I um i did uh um i grew up near Boston, so BossCon is my hometown. It was my first convention ever, and I got some sort of stomach. Hey, there you go. Not bad at all. Um, Not bad at all. Find a roommate, and that's doable. Um, I the Amtrak from New York is infinitely more expensive because New York to Boston basically subsidizes the entire frickin' every other Amtrak in the country is subsidized by the New York to Boston route. Honestly, because it's so expensive, because so many people want to take the train to New York to Boston, so the prices go up. Um, which means I usually take the bus to go home for it. But I'm excited. It would be really cool if you were there. It's a lot smaller than Balticon, but it does have a thriving Filk program run by Mass Filk, which is it's like a Filk club. I was part of it when I was younger, in my teens and early 20s, and it's a lot of fun. Group, they get together to do Filk once a month, and um they come to BossCon to bring their best, because everyone loves filking. But yes, This one that I'm doing the Cyberpunk game at is going to be it's tabletop RPGs, so it's entirely running tabletop RPGs. This entire convention, they have a couple seminars on world building and stuff, but mostly it's just TTRPG running. So you and I'm DMing a few of them, but mostly I'm going to play. But Cyberpunk Red was one I was going to DM. But when you DM a game at a con, you have to have pre-gens and you have to have everything planned. This one is in Madison, Wisconsin. Because I went to one in Philadelphia, which was very similar, just all tabletop RPG. Because a friend of mine was going to be, or a streamer I admired was going to be there, and I was like, I'm going to go to one convention that he's at. I want to go to at least one convention where this guy's at so we can meet up and talk. He's really cool. I've been to a few conventions, or he is before now. But, that reminds me, I have to do my submissions for events for, set up for Page this year too. But, essentially, I went to Philadelphia, and everyone in Philadelphia was like, hey, there's this really cool one out in Madison. You should go to this one. It's so much fun. So I said, okay, I'll go. And I did last year, and it was really cool. So I'm going back this year, and I'm DMing a game. I'm gonna do one Cyberpunk Red game, which is basically Cyberpunk 2077, but it's the TTRPG version. You got solos, you got rocker boys, you got nomads, stuff like that. And so I'm running that, and I'm also gonna run Definitely Wizards. But yeah, it's out in Madison, which I don't have a lot of background at Madison, but I have a very good friend who's in Minnesota who was like, well, that's only a 4-hour drive, and he'd never been to a convention ever before, so I convinced him to come to this one. And he's coming back next year, or this year, actually. It's in 3 months, so I got to do some prep work. And it's a lot easier for me to do prep work when I'm on stream, because I can, I hope so. Oh, I hope so. But yeah, um, I also talked you up to Randy, who does the music programming for Confluence in Pittsburgh. He might, um, hopefully, he takes the suggestion to heart and has you play it at Confluence, um, which is in Pittsburgh. If you wanted to, if you were willing to go to Pittsburgh for con, because it's pretty small, but it's very music focused, and they have a lot of concerts basically, and um, mm, but and that was the one I got the Interfelt grant to go to the first time, and I had to go back because it's so cool and such. So but yes, I should. I get very easily distracted. Um, oh, there you go then. So even if Randy doesn't invite you as a guest, you should absolutely go to Confluence. But I will remind me to send you the link later. But um, I'll um, I'll kind of send Randy your um that. Oh yes, but we were gonna create a character, and we were gonna go. We're gonna start with a rocker boy, and we were gonna do a map of Europe. That's what we were gonna do because I was like, I was gonna make them come from. I was gonna have all of them come from a similar, like corporate, um, have the corporate background of like a mid-level satellite corporation that got attacked. Basically, they had a satellite corporation was like Osaka, like a branch subsidiary, was attacked in a violent corporal war leftover attack. And the thing that happened with that was uh, Osaka, maybe a different court, offered them a internship. Anyone who it's hard. Basically, you start with if you're running as a con GM, you have to create the characters for your players. Basically, it's the same as creating characters for your own self, but you kind of have to guess what people might want to play, and you have to do one of each, exactly one of each. Um, because when you do one of each, you can then offer your players choice. And if you're really fancy, you do a couple of each, so everyone, people can play multiple ones. But I don't know if I have that kind of chops. Basically, you do one of each, and then I don't know if you've ever, like, you put together a basic outline of a plot. And my favorite one for running TTRPGs is actually kidnappings and fetch quests because if there's a kidnapping, A, there are stakes. B, people are willing to pay. Oh, hi, JC. Welcome on in. I'm doing prep for a game I have to run at a convention in October, and I was gonna start creating the player characters, the pre-gens that I'm gonna hand to my players. Because it's a convention game, they don't have time to do character creation. So basically, I'm gonna hand them pre-gens, and um, which is pretty standard for a convention game, unless character creation is a big part of the game. But yeah, it's Cyberpunk Red, which is like the TTRPG version of Cyberpunk 2077, and um, bleh, yeah, it is. um, all right, so I have a little flashy thing that tells me there's going to be an ad break, which I know running ads is kind of silly, but it does, A, it gives everyone a break so you can all get stretched and hydrated, but also it helps the channel out and helps me make a little bit of money, which I appreciate because, bleh. Um, yes. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna start the. Yeah, we're gonna start with a rocker boy. We're gonna make a rocker boy. Let's see. There were three methods, if I recalled correctly. Um, which is um up here. 40. All right. Yeah, there are three methods. So I think we're gonna do. So there's street rats are templates. Templates a fast way to start creating a character. But don't underestimate templates. In the hands of an experienced role player, even a template can be modified to unique and fully fleshed out character. By adding as you play, template gathers more individuality to itself, getting better and better the more you play. That's fair. You start with the basics and then you go from there. Edge Runner. As soon as you realize Cyberpunk Red character generation system is designed to give you a lot of flexibility. You can tailor the character the way you want it, with a lot of personal touches all through the process. But you need to create a character quickly without a lot of painstaking detail. Fast and dirty method is an excellent option. Also good when you have to do one of each for um, uh, yeah, yeah, I think that's the one we're gonna do. We're gonna do fast and dirty. Um, and I'm gonna open a Word document. Is what we're gonna do. I think I have one open, and then we're gonna start with. Um, I'm gonna actually do it. I mean, last time I did the stream, we got bogged down in the weeds and we didn't actually do it. So what I'm gonna do is beautiful, and because I am a writer first and foremost, I do have my labor office. Okay. Give me Addie. Wait, where's my good girl? Come here. I will be back in a minute. Then we will do it. All right. Perfect timing. Confluence. Boom. Perfect timing. Uh, perfect timing. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. My name is still Lee. Didn't change name or pronouns in the interim. Hi, welcome, welcome. This is a blank Word document that I have. Yeah, that's the thing about. Let's get there. You go. What we can do is this. A 90% of you streaming is making things fit and arranging stuff on stream. So now that we're back, I believe we're back. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Hopefully y'all got hydrated. Some hydration. I got cream soda. I'm rocking the 3 beverage. living my best 3 beverage life. Um, and it's great. So, um, let's see, Cyberpunk, Punk, Red. Also, okay. First thing I'm gonna do is go to time. I know time. It's silly to do Times New Roman, um, but and then I'm gonna bring it up to I think 16-point font. Maybe I'm gonna go 18. Basically, because I'm so not zoomed in. Yeah, I gotta do it because I'm so not zoomed in. Um, to like I'm so zoomed out to make it fit on the screen. What I tend to do is put the font in like 18, so you guys can kind of read it. Um, and Cyberpunk Red. Um, Gamehole Con of 2025. Um, Rocker Boy. And then we'll although it doesn't have to be boy. Actually, I have um a methodology for that. Um, we have a methodology. We have a D12. Hang on. I have a genders and sexualities chart. So if we're gonna start with that, so because it doesn't have to actually be a buck or boy as such, the term is technically gender neutral. Or let's see. What you can do is back. I will show you this because I am super proud of this. Back in my wild youth, I used to do way more character creation on stream, and oh no, damn it. Okay. Oh, search results in. No, I need to go in. Yep. Um. Yes. Okay. So this is. This is here. I'm gonna open this one temporarily, just to show you guys. Um, this is my fun little chart I made. Libra. Is it this one? No, not that one. Okay, wait. Put this up. Put this up. I should be able to. Um. Nope, I can't switch it. Okay. So essentially, I have the second one. Let me save this, and then we'll. And then I should be able to. Apparently, I can only have one. It's like Highlander. Rocker. Um. Cyberpunk. Um. Pregen. Yeah. Okay. I saved. Oh, we can burn into one. All right. Now there we go. Now I can have this chart up. So this is my chart. I'm very very proud of this. Um. I am super proud of this chart. Um. Wait, I guess it's a little silly, but basically you roll for biological sex, and if it gets the weird angle, they're intersex. There's other ways you could probably do it. You could do evens odds on a D100 and then 42 and 69. Because one is even, one's odd, and it's 2%, which is about the rate of intersex variation. But I think we're gonna keep it simple and just do male or female, and then um, if it gets high enough, and yeah, male or female, and then if it's less than 92, they're cis. If it's 93 or higher, they're trans of some class. That was my theory on that, because it was interesting, to roll for gender and sexuality, because if you're creating a character to play, you want to like dig into it and pick randomly. But if you're just um you know if you're creating mass creating characters, why not make it random, you know? So we get that is a 6. Okay. All right, have fun at the other Twitch stream because I know, yeah, support other streamers too. But have fun with that, okay? So we got a 6. So girl, most likely, and all right, have fun on the other stream. Um, here, let me see, and 23. So she's straight. Okay, but that was also part of what I did. So yeah, we have one straight girl for our rocker boy. Um, let's see. We're gonna switch. Recent documents. The rocker boy. Okay, that's this one. Yay. Okay, so have fun at the other switch. Yeah. All right. So, um, uh, yeah, yeah. Just out of curiosity. Okay. Now, since we're doing fast and dirty, that's a big one. I just realized. Okay. Um, pick a roll. Set your roll ability to 4. Okay. 29. Okay, page 29. We're gonna go to page 29. Ready? And we're gonna go rocker boy. 29 is the rolls. Rocker boy. Roll ability. Rocker boy. Boy. Charismatic impact. Charismatic impact. Roll ability is yeah, he's cool. Um, roll impact is 4. Um, we're gonna set it to 4. I used to so basically charismatic 4. Okay, so we got that. Then we got back to the page. There's one thing about PDFs is you can just toggle like that. Let's see. Run your life path, C43. Oh, that's why I was going to do the map of Europe. Life path. Um, Incredible blue eyes, clear and through, like crystals and lace, and smile from Magazine Dream. Of course, the eyes were Technics 20, 30, 50s, and the smile was really from Magazine. Nice bioscope job. It didn't matter how much was real in the end. I still felt hard for her. In fact, I still think about her. I'm just that type. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna do life path. And that's why I'm so... Okay, I'm not buying viewers, whoever you are. I generally let the people, do that. Oh, right, I was going to do, I had an entire plan that was completely, sidetracked. Window. Boom. There. I was going to bring up a map of Europe. That's what I was going to do. And then I was going to... This one... Not Great Library of... This one, I think. And then that. And then, yeah. Okay. So, Firefox X... Let me do it up here. Yep. Okay. Then, basically what we can do is then bump this down. And why is that not working? Hang on. I did that. No. I didn't want that. Fudge. Blah, blah, blah. This one. That one. Then we go here. Here. I had it all set up. This one. That's the one I want. The other one can... Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's the one I wanted. Alright. This one goes back to the Twitch streaming, so I can have my open thing, keep an eye on the ad break, stuff like that. But yes, this is map of Europe I found. But basically, I was thinking eastern, somewhere in the eastern part of the continent. Not too stuff like this big. Poland, Czech. So Ukraine is. Maybe like near the Polish-Ukrainian border. I think that yeah, near the Polish-Ukrainian border. Okay, that is our life path. I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah, I would say that. Okay, so yeah, near the Polish-Ukrainian border. So we're gonna deke this, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna go back to here, and then we're gonna bring this up again. Sorry. There is a lot of this. This is the life of a streamer, is how to make all the cool stuff appear that you have on your screen appear to your viewers. And life path. Okay. Now I need to do this, and for each table, rolling a D10 or a D6, determine a piece of your character's history, their style, or outlook on the world. In some cases, you'll be called to make multiple rolls on the same table. If at any point you roll something you don't think fits your character, feel free to choose an option instead. I think I'm gonna do mostly. I suppose I could roll for it. Instead of doing that, what I could do is. Oh yeah, I have stickers from all the bands that played at freaking CB Dice. Yeah. At Confluence. Actually, funny story. I opened up my if Tav were still here, he'd appreciate this. But I opened up my pants. I took all the stuff out of my pockets from the pants I wore at Confluence, and I found a guitar pick. A little this one. It's a band called. Oh no, it's Nathaniel Johnson. Basically he that was from before when he was a solo artist. Now he has a band. They're really good. They performed at Confluence, and I actually have a CD I think from him, and a little flash drive from his other bandmate containing her solo stuff. They're putting out their first album as a band, and it's gonna be awesome. So life path is hang on. So I suppose I could roll, and then sort out the refuge. I mean, I had this plan, but we could do a roll. Um, yeah. Western Europe, Eastern Europe. Okay. Well, the count is Finland is part of Eastern Europe. I mean, it is right bordering Russia, so there is that. Okay, and then personality and yes. Sub-Saharan Africa. Technological boom. All right. Yep. So yeah. Okay. We could either roll that or, I mean, yeah. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's do it. We're gonna roll. So I'll show you the roll tables. So basically, yeah. Okay. Instead of doing that, we're gonna roll, and then we'll have to find another map. I think we'll roll. Okay, let's roll and see what we get. Right? I mean, the worst that can happen is I hate it, and we'll go back to that one. Right? There's no harm in rolling. To see if we can't spark something. No, back to try. Sorry, back to Steam Manager. Okay. So I have a D10 here. I have sorry, a little better on the camera. Yes, this is a D10. It's from a set. I think it's from. I definitely bought it because it's Bisexual Flag Vibes. I don't think it's meant to be a bisexual flag, but it's got bisexual flag vibes. So I got it. It's half of it's blue and half of it's kind of purplish pink, and then there's a glitter stripe in between. So bi flag colors. Let me roll, and let's see what we get. 6. All right, let's see what 6 is. Oh, show you the table. This is another thing about this is I can boom. Okay, so 6 is sub-Saharan Africa. It's not that I don't necessarily. The thing about that is it's a whole. I'd have to do more research. I guess I'd have to do research for Eastern Europe too, in fairness. So let me look at what sub-Saharan Africa. Let's get a map. We got derailed, didn't we? But I mean, people come from all over the world to Night City. And internship program. Okay, let's see. Yes. Okay, so where's let's do a map of, okay, political map of Africa. Um, of course, the thing about the countries is that there's this whole, okay, well, sub-Saharan is just basically anything south of the desert. So, this one's a pretty solid one, right? Hang on, look at the World Atlas one, because that's, yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't zoom, which, so it could be anywhere from Sudan to Ethiopia's Somalia is, well, Somalia has issues now, but I think Mali counts as being in northern Africa, if I recall correctly, because it's Islam spread that far, and Angola, Botswana, Mozambique, Madagascar could be Tanzania. I think Ethiopia is the most politically stable of them now, but of course that doesn't account for okay, because they could cheat and say South Africa, but that seems kind of you know what, yeah, we're gonna go with South Africa. Ethiopia is a good one though. I'm trying to find countries that I know. Like Ethiopia is kind of, it has a history of internal stability, which I could, of course, just skip all of this and just agree to. Hang on, let me. Blech. Okay. Yeah. This is an interesting one. Let me think. Yeah, we're gonna go South Africa. They're from South Africa. We're giving. We're gonna have our. Um. Um. Oh, different Twitch account as in your different Twitch account. I thought you meant you were going to switch over and do another stream. Like switch over and go see another streamer who's also streaming, because spread the love around. Yeah. Forgot your password is story of my life. I get it. Yeah. I just want to make sure I didn't lose it somewhere. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. I have a mandolin that I started learning on. It's hard. I got pretty okay at it, but I couldn't play and sing at the same time. So I got pretty good at the picking. But I couldn't play and sing at the same time, and that was frustrating. And I ended up sending it back to my mother's house because I was trying to get stuff out of the room here because I thought I would have to move. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily play it in a concert setting. Her name is Lillian, and it was a gift from my cousin Sally. Um, I think she could do a tax write-off because she is a professional musician, but um, she did get it for me, which was nice. Okay. So I think South Africa would be okay. Um, so um, South Africa. Okay. Started out in South Africa, and I was gonna say Eastern Europe and like go from there, but I was like, we should roll, and I rolled a 6, so we're gonna go for South Africa. Um, which would mean probably English and Afrikaans and maybe um Zulu. Okay, hang on. Zulu is. I just gotta make sure I'm like not screwing this up because that part of the world's gotten stereotyped and fucked over a lot, and I want to make sure I don't screw. You know what? Do more with that. You know what I mean? Um. Okay. Zulu people. Our native people. Southern Africa of Nguni. Ethnic group in nation of South Africa. Okay. Okay. Largest ethnic group. Languages. And then Zulu is a language. So, okay. We even have a handy dandy map of where Zulu speakers. Southern Bantu language. Okay. Nguni branch, spoken in indigenous to Southern Africa. Okay. So, what I'm thinking is kind of mostly some Zulu ancestry. Um, uh, yeah, some Zulu, mixed race with some Zulu ancestry. I'm thinking probably speak it and Afrikaans. I think that's a pretty good mix, right? And then um 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 okay. Yeah. And then there's a history of the tribe which is fairly interesting, but um I just want to make sure, you got to do it justice. If you're going to have your characters be from some place, especially some place that got, its history fucked over, you got to make sure you do it like justice. Just kind of why I picked South Africa because um it's what was I gonna say? I know a little bit more about South African, history and stuff, so I can um but yeah. So that's there. And I am going to nope, that one. So yeah, South Africa, um mixed Zulu ancestry, Zulu, Afrikaans, and Dresden. And no, there's a technical term for Afrikaans. No, there's a technical term for Dutch settlers in South Africa. Um, yeah, we are getting a little bit in the weeds. Um, yeah. Um, okay. Um, yes. Um, let's see. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Um, um, okay, that's it. More of the history. I should probably look into this a little more, but we're gonna do for now. Yeah, I'm gonna say Afrikaans, and we're gonna say um um. No, there's a um. Okay. Um. Yes, Afrikaners are a South African ethnic group descended predominantly from Dutch settlers who first arrived in 1652. Okay. Dominated South African politics as well as country commercial and agricultural sector. Afrikaans, which evolved from a Dutch dialect of South Holland, is the mother tongue of Afrikaners and most Cape Coloreds. Okay, which is individuals of mixed race. That's the term in South African. So, okay. think what we're gonna do, yeah. No, we're gonna do fix this again. But yeah, it's worth poking. It's worth, if you're gonna do characters from someplace that actually exists, it's worth like, yeah, yep, it's worth actually doing it sort of right. At least getting the basics, the bare bones basics, right with it. Okay, so mixed Southern Afrikaners. Okay, and then personality for our rocker boy, we can just roll. Um, yeah, let's just roll. Um, one is shy and secretive. I'm gonna. Um, is that a good one for rocker boy? Let me. 8 would be sneaky and deceptive. Huh. This is. I'll see here. I'll show you the rolling table I'm using. Uh, yeah, this is the rolling table. So this is interesting. Oh, they're gonna do another ad break. Okay, we're gonna have to figure this out. But for now, stretch, hydrate, refill your beverages, and I'm gonna go with shy and secretive, and we're gonna figure out like a stage persona. That might be a big, like, really quiet off stage. That could be an interesting dichotomy. We'll put a pin in that. But yeah, I guess we're rolling for most of these. Um, let me just go to here. We're closing down that map, and yeah. All right, yeah. Oh, it's doing the thing where it like doesn't start the ad right away. So let's see. And the next one would be, we're gonna say shy and secret and put a little asterisk, and then we'll do dress and personality style. We can roll separately or choose one from each column, and that's fun, actually. So let's go style. Urban Flash. We could play with this a little bit. We could absolutely play around. All right. First, though, let me stretch for a little bit. I'll be back before the ad breaks up. Okay. All right. All this is kind of conflict. Had no, but it's probably air conditioned. Probably air conditioned. Beautiful. Boop. All right. Yay! Welcome back, everyone. Cheers. I have little nerds. Remember, hydration is your friend. And just have at least a little bit of snacks in your life. We're gonna roll for style, and yeah, let's roll for style. Um, let's do it. Okay, but they're all gonna be from South Africa now because we're not rolling for all of them. We're gonna, I mean, some of them might be full Afrikaners, like full on white. Some of them might be closer, but like we can do different ethnicities and stuff, but they're all gonna be um from South Africa because this was the program. 9 nomad. I'm gonna say Urban Flash because I rolled a second time because nomad leathers are an affectation, although it could be a false affectation. But I would say Urban Flash makes more sense for a um makes more sense for a um hmm snack life for sure. I have candy. Actually, fun story. When Confluence came to an end, I helped them break down the con suite, and they let me take all the extra candy. Um, um, so I still have some of it left. Um, and then her hair. This one's just gonna be. We're not even gonna reroll. Um, kind of halfway between a 9 and a 5. 5 is bald. 9 is short and curly. Okay, makes sense. She'd have curls. Okay, so short and curly. Short curly hair. Urban Flash, short curly hair. Oh, yeah, okay, fine. My phone was complaining about being on the charger too long. Um, yep. So what else she got? So, boom, boom, boom. Uh, affectation you're never without. Heck, let's do it. Fingernail implants, sure. 3 is ritual scars. Okay. Alright, I don't know if Zulu does ritual scarification, but we'll say she has very noticeable scars, and then we'll actually poke into that. Um, very noticeable scars. We'll put a little question mark here for now. But yeah. It might have done on purpose and not be necessarily ritual. Um, um, okay. So there we go. She does have some very noticeable scarring. Um, that she probably plays up for her performances, I would say. You know, play up the scars on stage. And the scars are real, but they're kind of played up on stage. And, let's see. Tales from the Street. What do you value most? What do you... Oh, yeah, my mother is trying to... I will text my mother back after the stream. When we get to the end of the life path, I'm probably going to have to end the stream because I do have a day job I got to get to because... Yeah, I'm not a big enough name on Twitch to um make it full time yet. But I might get a second payout this year because it when I get to 50. Um but yeah, I do I do because I like streaming. I like hanging out with you guys for an hour, an hour. It's like an hour and a half, 3 days a week. It's fun. I get to hang out with you guys. I get stuff like creative stuff done. It's hard to it's easier to get creative stuff done when you have a stream. Like for at least for me, for as a writer, it's easier to make myself sit down and like do stuff if I have a back and forth. Hey, you're the one who's freaking like started out as Jehovah's Witness and broke free from that and became like a musician of amazing skill, by the way. You know what I mean? You're freaking you rock the blues. Like Dang, you know, you're you're the one, you know. Oh, I should shout you out, shouldn't I? Um, I don't know if I have like a freaking. I am going to try something silly. Um. Oh, you have a website. There you go. Here, I'll pop a link in the to there. That is like a musician of some class and just blues singer and Baltimore. Yeah, a native of the Baltimore area, and it's just cool. So if you're in the general vicinity of Baltimore, like, sure, you have a couple of shows coming up, I think. So um, it's a fun time. I'm lucky I got to see your concert at Balticon. It's kind of bluesy guitar music, and the lyrics are beautiful. But yeah, I gotta say, all right, we're doing Life Path. We still don't have a name for this character. Um, honestly, I didn't let people in chat name these characters. Um, I'll have to give her a decent name, but let's see. What's most important? We're roll. I think we're just gonna roll. We're gonna, you know, roll Life Path. Honor. Okay. Um, honor is yeah. All right. We can work with that. Let me bring up the I would say not just honor, but her own reputation, and not being like, not just honor, but like making her being a kind of person who, you know, being the kind of person you want to see in the world, like that, like being a person to be proud of. That's important. And okay, let's see. We'll get that one. And how do you feel about most people? All right. 9. Um. Yeah. Um. Uh. Very maladapt misanthropic. Uh. Well, it makes sense. It to be um like it actually makes sense though. Like most corporation, most people, you know, a lot of times push back against corpo, and suck up. And if your whole thing is you rebel against that, it's very reasonable that you would just be like, F it, I can't do most people, you know? Let's see. Thing you value most. Things you value most. Some, okay. Uh, Most valuable possession. Right, who do you value most? Um, a personal hero. Okay. Probably another musician. Most likely another musician, and then would be most valuable possession you own. Let's do it. Is 5. Is a book or diary. Um, a book. Probably like possession. Um, I should probably specify which book. Um, Probably old lyrics. Um, um, to folk songs. Yeah, folk songs. Probably like a book of the lyrics and history of folk songs from her part of the world, you know? Yes, the Mighty Bozo Ripper Offer of Arms carries their favorite teddy bear over. Are you making fun of the Mighty Bozo Ripper Offer of Arms? From the Mighty Bozo Ripper Offer of Arms. Alright, background. Origin and family background. So this one is... Here, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm not gonna roll this one. Who you and where do you originally come from? Corporate managers. Yeah. Corporate, urban homeless, nomad pack, corporate technicians. Yeah. Yeah, this one were corporate technicians. I'm giving them all this background, because they're basically, this is part of the whole backstory of how they all wound up together. They had this, you know, their subsidiary compound from this factory branch was attacked. They all got offered this scholarship. They had the corporate technical school they were all going to. It got attacked. They were all offered a scholarship to intern in Night City. That went sideways, and they got kicked out of the program and are stuck in Night City. Some of them have gone back. Some of them have tried to stay to make the best of it. Including our rocker boy, who has no name so far. We're gonna have to give her one at some point. So environment. Cause I um um alright. Original background. Um um alright, we're also picking that one of um 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 yeah. Spent alright, spent most of her childhood um a corpo zone. Corpo zone. I think corpo zone is like this. Yep. Okay. So yeah. Um well, actually, or a huge megastructure building controlled by the core of the city. Um I'm gonna say safe corpo zone because they're probably all from like similar corpo zones. Almost certainly, all of these 10 are from similar. Like they came from the same. I'm giving them a shared background just to kind of makes um yeah, probably a Wolof corpo zone. Um, exiled, imprisoned. Your family was vanished. Family was killed. Um. Oh yeah. So family crisis. I would say family was killed. Um. Yeah. Family. So, family crisis is um um yeah. So the yeah. Um, bombed to smithereens when she was a teenager. Yeah. Although, uh, okay, you're friends. Okay, so, um, I'm gonna say family crisis. Yes. Um, um, for each roll on the table below, I'm going to roll d10 and subtract 7. I'm going to say 9 plus a d4. 9 plus a d4. I'm going to say 9 plus d4. And the 9 others are going to be the ones where the other player characters, and then the others might be d4. So then we're going to put old childhood friend for all of those, and then if we have any others, right? So 9 plus d4, and then we'll see if she's accrued any enemies while living in Night City. That is a 3. So, okay, I guess we're gonna do a slightly longer stream than we were originally gonna do, but that's okay. Friends is 9 childhood friends. Other players. And then 3 others. And then we come back to... we'll roll on this table, and if we get childhood friends, we'll re-roll. Sound like plan? Yes. Okay, so we're gonna roll for... 1. Is like a sibling. 2 is like a parent. Probably okay, so this kind of dynamic, I think that probably like a... 1 is like a younger sibling, like an older sibling, like a... Okay, older sibling. And then 3 is like a younger sibling. So this is probably like a group that kind of... A found family group of... maybe not bandmates. Yeah, this is probably her little collective that she's living with in the, Yeah, this is collective. This is their living collective. Let's see. Enemies. Subtract 7. Alright, roll a d10 and subtract 7. How many enemies do you have? That's a 7. Yeah, it was caught between a 7 and 1. So no enemies so far. We can give her 1 enemy. Nah, no enemies. So far. Yeah, except probably some corpo idiots, but that's a whole separate. Yeah, so that's minimum of 0. Let's see. If you have any sweet revenge, okay, tragic love affairs. See how many tragic love affairs you had, and use the table below. Any tragic love affairs? All right, that's a 9. So, okay, it was kind of teetering between a 7 and a 9. I'm like or a 5 and a 9, and I was like, this minimum 0, but 2 tragic X's. One was here. Let's see. One was imprisoned or exiled. One who's in prison. And the other one is a personal goal came between them. We will probably probably wanted something like all right, so life goals. What's something that she feels is help, wants to do with herself? 5 is live down your past and try to forget it. I'm gonna um I'm gonna switch that to be move past being just another um young who got screwed over by the corpse. Like just move past. Okay. So then there's a role based. Okay. So what kind of art does she do? Is 4 is performance artist. Okay. Um. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Group or solo? Street. Okay. What? This is the opposite. Street artist, slam poet, orator, politico, rap artist. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe group act. Once in a group. Or group act. Um. Yes. Probably. Ooh. Okay. We're gonna roll a d6. I'm gonna say that she's probably part of a group with the others who are living the 3 others. 3, you know, 6 on the data pool. Yes, I was hoping for that. Makes skits. They do. They have like a YouTube. Like, okay, all right. Why did you leave the group? But okay, but that's fine. Moral compass. A d6 for moral compass. 3 is will occasionally slip into unethical things, but it's rare. All right. Who's gunning for you? Um, oh, that's kind of solo. Okay, that's a solo one. Never mind. That's for moral. That's for the solo. Yeah. Um, yep. Okay, and then who's gunning for you? Um, who is gunning for you? All right. Last 4. Is critic or other influencer. Yeah. All right. Yeah, an influencer. I think influence. All right, influencer. Yeah. That is a yep. Critic or other influencer. When was this? The Cyberpunk Red. This was, I think, before, a little before the rise of influencers as a thing. But all right, so that's the. Okay, so all right, that's the life path, and then medtech, tech, netrunner, um, solo. This is the okay. So that's the rocker boy life path, and then we got a okay. So we have the life path down for our rocker boy, which I think is more than it kind of got a little sidetracked, but I think that's pretty solid. We have um, 3 bandmates, you know, the 9 other player characters who kind of filming these skits. An ex who's in prison, an ex who wanted actual more fame and fortune than the group was going to give him, and took a contract with you know, took a contract with the corp, and now is just out of it. Um, um, yeah, and is trying to move past. Believes in honor, believes being like making a person you and acting with integrity, and trying to move past just being, oh, I got screwed over by that. Like, I'm trying to make something of myself. I think we got a pretty good rocker boy going. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna snooze the hang on. We're gonna snooze the ad. For 5 minutes because I think this is the end of the stream. So what I'm gonna do is save my work. I'll show you actually. Hang on. 5 minutes. Yeah, we're not gonna stream more than 5 minutes. I shouldn't have been streaming this long anyway, but we were in the middle of it. So there's our life path. Kinda. I still need a name for her, but we got that going. I think we're gonna do a similar life path. We're gonna say from South Africa, that same megastructure in South Africa, which means the country is the same and the parents as corpo technician living in the walled off corpo zone is the same, and the corpo zone got bombed. People's parents probably were died or disabled, a lot of them. That's probably why they got the scholarship. Anyone whose parents had one of our parents who got killed or disabled in the explosion and was between like 16 and 20 was eligible for this, program, probably. Something like that. But yeah. That's there. We'll work out the timing of how long ago that was. But based on lore stuff. But that's a pretty good outline of a rocker boy. And then we'll do the stats, and then we'll stat them up. We'll stat her up tomorrow, and then we can actually make all of them, I suppose, neutral in terms of gender, and then just but okay. But yeah, thank you for watching. You guys are all cool. We're gonna raid. Is what we're gonna do. So thank you all for being here. Take care of yourselves. Hydrate. Hydrate, snacks. Remember to take your meds, all that jazz. Yeah, take care of yourself, sleep, all the good stuff. You deserve to be well cared for. Do the best you can. I know it's rough out there. And take care of yourselves. And I'm back same time, place tomorrow for Greyhawk, which is a completely different TTRPG setting. And then after that, Thursday is maybe more of this, maybe TTR. We'll see. We'll see. And then there you go. Oh hey, Tav followed. That's pretty cool. Both of the Tavs. Okay, cool. But yeah, thank you all for being awesome. We are going to raid somebody, but that means I need to figure out who we're gonna raid. So, people online. I have a lot of fun. Let's see. Ace is a Pokemon. Oh, she's doing art. Mix is doing Baldur's Gate. God's just running the lobby, but oh, Shy. All right, we're gonna raid Shy. We never raid Shy. She is a good friend, fellow writer. She's running the the GOT, which is our by the way, if any of you are thinking about our writers, we got Game of Tomes. I'm repping them. But yeah, it's for November. Is our big push. It's our fun little writing project thing we're doing. It's a community of writers, and world builders, and no. What we're going to do is we're going to raid. We're going to raid Shy. So who is she's an author. She is writing sprints. Productivity, writing stuff. We're all sharing that. So we're all gonna go raid Shy. Tell her how cool she is, and then if writing's not your vibe, you can head out. But Shy is cool. Go raid. Go hang out with Shy. Let's go do it. Alright. Peace out, peeps.